What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? I know it is late in getting here, but this is the season finale of Belle Collective Part 3 of the reunion. So we get to Part 3 of the reunion. We pick up where we left off. We have Josh and the Letitia, Latrice. I knew it wasn't right. Latrice basically saying, listen, we'll talk about this when we get home. We know we're not going to resolve this on TV. I'm not going to have this conversation on TV, which makes me question, then why the hell is he here? Like, look, if you don't want to have the conversation on TV with him, I can respect that. But then don't bring him there. And I understand that maybe that wasn't your call, that was Carlos's call. But guess what? Josh didn't have to come. And maybe he did contractually. Maybe Josh was on payroll this season and maybe he was obligated to show up at the reunion. But at the end of the day, then if all of that is true, then you signed up for this, and that's how I feel, then we deserve that conversation. See, here's the thing. I'm tired of people on reality shows picking and choosing what they choose to discuss when it was on camera. Now listen, if it was never on camera, I respect it. But if y'all are going to make it a part of the storyline, then we need to have a conversation about it. So Josh is there, and we saw this whole exchange between Josh and your husband. Your husband still disrespecting Josh. Your husband still talking to Josh crazy. Josh is physically upset. He is crying. He is hurting. And your response is, we ain't going to do this in front of the cameras. You know what it is. We're going to talk when we get home. I have a problem with that. But moving on. So then we get to Glenn and Letitia. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell y'all that, honestly, I don't even care about none of this. Did y'all hear about what allegedly is going on down in Jackson as it relates to Glenn and Letitia? Shout out to Millie Chan. Y'all go over, if y'all not subscribed to Millie Chan TV, y'all check her out. MILLICHUN TV. She's on TikTok and YouTube. But she did a video yesterday. I will say I'm going to link the video in my description, but y'all know I'm going to probably forget to do that. So y'all just go check Millie Chan out. She did a video yesterday. See, me being late with my review was probably a good thing. Allegedly, in the group, one of them groups on Facebook, you know, they have the Belle Collective groups. They have the Love and Marriage Huntsville groups. I left all them groups a long time ago because it just got to be too much. But I might go back. Allegedly, Letitia got beat up by one of Glenn's side chicks down to the mall in Jackson. Okay, now Glenn dropped in the comments and he was like, it's a lie. Ain't nobody put their hands on my wife. You lying. But allegedly this chick she know what she know that she know. And she was like, Glenn, don't play with me. You know that I know what it is. You know I know the real. Okay, so this is clearly somebody that live there and know them. Or at least that's what she portraying herself to be. She said that DNA test was fake. That Glenn absolutely has a side baby, that Letitia knows about it, and that whole thing was set up for the show to make it look a certain way. But that, yes, the kid, she said there was one child that they spoke about on the show. She was like, but what about the other one, Glenn? And she even dropped the girl's name, but she didn't drop her whole name. She said, don't make me get started. What about AW? So allegedly there's a woman, and her initials are start with an A and N, and her last name start with a W, baby. And Glenn was like, he responded. So whatever it was, the threat must not have scared him. But baby, what y'all think? Y'all think Letitia got paws put on her down to the mall by Glenn's side piece? Y'all think that happened? Anyway, back to the reunion, child. Back to the reunion. Glenn claimed that he better. Letitia said he better. She said I'd have been all up and through his DMs. He's been a good boy. They claim that scene where Glenn rolled up on them at the rental office was real. It wasn't fake. Baby, it was fake. Ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. You know how I know it was fake? Because people told me who was there. But that's between me and you, okay? Allegedly, that whole scene was a fake, but we ain't gonna. From what I had heard, that little rental office where they allegedly was trying to find an apartment for Letitia, allegedly that's the place where they go to film their confessionals. Now that's what I was told. Listen, I can't say it's true or not. I'm just telling you what I was told, okay? So neither here nor there. Then they talked about the whole night of the party with Glenn when what that man named Cliff called Glenn and told him about the scripper. And Leticia was like, that set us back. Like, we were in a good place. We were doing really well. And that night set us back. And everybody on that couch felt some kind of way about the fact that Glenn called and told, that Cliff called and told Glenn about what happened at that party. Even JJ was like, first of all, you didn't even have to be out there because I had a whole situation set up for the men. It was really only supposed to be the women out there with the scripper. And Cliff was like, well, why were you out there? He said, because I was out there because I was hosting a party and I was making sure that everything was good and my wife was good, okay? But I had a whole situation in the pool room where the men could go so they didn't even have to be around it. Second of all, he said that was the first time that these women got together and everybody just had a good time. And you had to ruin it. You had to call Glenn and create an issue where there really wasn't no issue. It wasn't that serious. He was like, that was the first time that these women, these Belles, were really just having a good time. Everybody put their bull aside and everybody was just having a good time. And honestly, he ain't lying. You saw the footage, even, at the time Latrice and Gucci wasn't in a good place, but she was there. She was laughing and having a good time. Akeisha was there having a good time. Tambra, like, everybody was there and they were in a good space. So honestly, he ain't lying about that. But look, like I said, I feel the way I feel about Cliff. Let me just say this about the Cliff and Latrice situation. The one thing I will agree with Latrice, and this is how I know that somewhere in the back of her mind, in the deep back of her mind, she know that she don't need to be there. Because the best thing you could do is not have a baby, okay? Keep staying in that space. Keep sitting in that space that you don't want no baby. Because the last thing and the worst thing you could do is put yourself in a situation where now you got to worry about you and a child and what it is, whether this is a good place for you or not. Now, that's my opinion, and I'm moving on. I ain't got nothing else to say. As far as Leticia and Glenn is concerned, I told y'all 2 seasons ago, she ain't going nowhere. So I'm honestly tired of talking about it. But I see what the storyline is going to be next season because they're talking about their dating now and they're courting and maybe they'll, have a whole nother wedding. They're re-engaged. And Carlos was like, ooh, do I see season finale, the wedding next season? So that's what her storyline is going to be next season because even if she didn't think about it, Carlos then gave it to her and it's going to be what it's going to be. Because let me tell you what it can't be. I know it can't be another brunch. Moving on. Let me make sure I got all my notes. Okay. Akeisha, listen, Akeisha went from my least favorite to my most favorite. I love Akeisha. She's actually my favorite Belle. And honestly, I know I've said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it. I really wish she had ended up on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think Akeisha would have been great on that show. I think it would have been bumpy at first because I think Akeisha would have came in guns a-blazing because that's her personality. She's very raw. But I honestly think she would have been in a good space. I don't know what side of the Real Housewives world she would have fell on. I feel like she would have got along with Teresa, but I feel like she would have bumped heads with Jennifer. So I don't know if she would have fit in with that crew. I don't know who she would have got along with if you really want to know the truth of the matter, but I definitely think she would have been good for the show. The Real Housewives of New Jersey need to shake it up a little bit. I'm not saying they need black folk. I'm saying they need to shake it up a little bit. I think they've done a really good job of giving us the Italian culture and what life is like for, that whole Italian community in New Jersey. But it's time to shake it up a little bit, So I would have definitely been here for it, but neither here nor there. She on Bill Collector Down Child. Honestly, she didn't really have a whole lot. She spit some real game about the whole Ferris Street thing. She said, listen, for us, it's not a game. Like, we are legit talking to businesses. We are legit sitting in the room with the right people to make things happen. She said, and to be perfectly honest, the types of conversations that we're having as it relates to Ferris Street, we can't put on camera. And that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really sit down at the table and you really doing serious business and you negotiating and you talking money and you talking real stuff, she said we have people that want to invest, but they don't want to be on TV. Again, real talk. Real money really, listen, real money really ain't flashy. I keep telling y'all that. Real money is quiet, okay? And so they probably do have people that want to be silent investors or people that don't want to be on TV talking about their money or what they got and what they don't have. So I can respect that. as a historian, as someone who loves history, I just hope that they are able to encapsulize some of the original vision. I do think, I said this on the very first episode of the very first season of Belle Collective. Every major city has that place where Black America congregated and did business and were successful because the cities were segregated. So you couldn't go to the dentist that the white counterparts went to. So they had a black dentist who probably did very well. You had a black doctor. You had your black barbershops. You had your black beauticians. You had your black tax collectors and tax preparers and stuff. Like, all of those things existed because of segregation. And because they all existed, every major city has a Ferris Street. Has it been preserved in most places? No, it hasn't. So I'm here for the vision. And I'm here for bringing money and attention and commerce to the city of Jackson. Anyway, but honestly, they talked about her doing the gala with Marie. And I mean, I think we would pretty much cover that on the episode. That was more of a partnership with Essie, and it really wasn't what Akeisha thought she was signing up for, because she thought that this was a gala that they did every year. So there's certain things when you do something every year, there's certain things that are just in place that just didn't seem to be in place with this situation. The fact that they didn't even know the price point for their tickets. If you do something every single year, I mean, yes, you have to factor in, inflation, or if the price of the food went up or certain things, yes. But you should be able to say, well, listen, we did this last year. Maybe we need to add $10 here because the caterer is charging, this is what the caterer charged last year, and we're going with a different caterer, and these are the prices this year. This was the price of the venue last year, and it went up a little bit. This is the price of the venue this year. I've been in enough organizations and been on enough committees that when you do something every single year, you should never be starting from scratch. You should never be as lost as they seem to be when it came to this gala that they do every year. Now, I was told that they moved the gala up so they could film it for the purpose of filming, so that might have thrown a few things off. But it shouldn't have thrown them off to the point where they were really, like I said, they didn't even know how much to charge for tickets. Like, stop it. Moving on. But I like Akeisha. Yeah, moving on. Then we have the Gucci and Selena situation. Listen, my opinion ain't changed, okay? I honestly feel like Gucci was doing too much. Now, it goes back to the whole conversation about, does it warrant somebody getting physical with you? I think that goes back to your own personal. Listen, I do not condone the fact that Selena put her hands on Gucci. She said that so Gucci threatened to throw a drink in her face, and to her, those are fighting words. Okay, look, I ain't gonna tell nobody what fighting words are to them. So here's how I feel about the situation. I do believe that they wanted Selena on the show first. Looking at it from a point of view of production, that makes sense. Selena was already known. Selena already has a fan base. Selena is already bringing recognition to the show. It absolutely makes sense that Carlos King and production wanted somebody in the city that people already knew. Now, I never watched the Dancing Dolls show, but there are so many people that did. There were so many people that already knew who Selena was, who JJ was, and who the girls were. Nobody know who Gucci was. So do I think that the goal was to originally get Selena on the show? I absolutely believe that. So when it ended up being Gucci and JJ, do I think that Gucci felt like she had to prove something? Yes. And the first time she had an opportunity to film with Selena, do I feel like she wanted to make it known that I am on the show and you are a friend of, you are only here by happenstance, I am here because I'm being paid to be here? Absolutely. Do I think she anticipated it getting physical? No. So it happened. Now, I do not think Latrice had anything to do with it. I do not think Latrice set anybody up. I just don't think it was that calculated. So fast forward, now we get to you deciding to press charges. Here's my problem with that. If you are really, truly trying to build a relationship, have a blended family, fix whatever issues that y'all have been dealing with, you never should have pressed charges against that woman. I get it. She hit you. She embarrassed you on national television. You didn't know what they were going to show of that fight. You didn't know what it was going to look like. I get it. I get it. But in the interest of blending the family and the long-term ramifications for that, I do not think she should have pressed charges. How can y'all expect those girls to feel any other way than the way they feel? That's their mother. And JJ was like, well, I took care of you, and I did this, and I did that, and y'all didn't even live with her. And I don't know if any of y'all caught it when one of the girls, I don't know the names, I apologize. One of the girls said, so what? We're with her now. So, I believe JJ when he says that the girls lived with him, and he did this, and he did that. I believe all of that. But I think y'all need to let all of that go, because where we are now, those girls are in a space now where they have built a friendship or relationship with their mom, and they have an issue, and this woman has pressed charges against their mother. You expect them to feel differently about that, and I don't understand why y'all don't understand why them girls feel the way they feel. They gonna ride for their mom. Right, wrong, or indifferent, they gonna ride for their mom. So, JJ, you in a bad situation because that's your wife and those are your daughters. I get it. But I honestly feel like, and I don't know what conversations were had behind the scenes, but you should have worked a lot harder to talk her out of pressing charges. I'm so serious. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If it's me, it's to the dirt for me. It's to the dirt. And I respect the fact that Akeisha and Carlos were trying to get them to resolve it because their parents aren't here. And they were like, listen, once they're gone, they're gone. Listen, I respect that. I respect it. But I'm just telling you, me and my personality, if that's my dad and my stepmom pressed charges against my mother, and I'm grown, like I don't have to stay nowhere. I can get in the car and go where I need to go, and I take care of myself and I pay my bills. It's to the dirt. I'm not saying I would never have a relationship with my father, but it would be hard. But I ain't never having no relationship with her. Never's a strong word, but I don't see no situation where I'm ever effing with Gucci again. And that's real talk. So, it was heartbreaking to watch, but I understood it. And the fact that JJ is acting like, because his attitude is, we just need to get past it. Nah. I'm good. That's me. But y'all already told y'all keep not believing me when I tell y'all that I can hold a grudge. Once I'm done, I'm done. That's why I be telling people, don't let me get to that point. Because when you let me get to that point, it's a wrap. If I'm still talking to you and communicating with you, let's work this out. Because when I'm done talking, I'm done talking. So, I don't know. That was pretty much the reunion, child. It was Akeisha's birthday. They brought out cake and they made a toast. They went around the room and asked everybody what they was doing. Child, I don't pay attention to none of that. Let's wait till next season and see what everybody's giving, okay? You telling me what you're doing. Let me wait and see what's really going on. Everybody doing all these big things. Let me see what you're really doing next season, okay? Sorry it took me so long to get y'all the review. If some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. I really just haven't been feeling myself these last couple of weeks, and my energy's been low and da. So I hate leaving stuff unfinished. So even though it's 2 weeks late and probably only 100 people gonna watch this review, I'm bringing it to y'all. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.